What is really interesting about my role is when we deal with Wall Street, what you're really dealing with is it's not just actuals and actual performance that matters. It really is actual performance relative to the expectations that Wall Street has of our performance. So you'll often see the situation where people will buy on the rumor and sell on the news, and that's very real. But what we have to do as a company is help investors not only get comfort around the actual performance, but they really need comfort and conviction in the future trajectory of the company. And where we are right now, there's a lot of concerns about the PC market and the macroeconomy, and that's one of the reasons why valuations have been hurt so much lately. I think most investors, when they talk about Intel, they say, hey, phenomenal company, great brand presence, stellar execution, and really unexpected financial results. That's sort of the good side. The bad side, or the concern side, would be, hey, they're wedded to the PC market seems to be maturing. How can we see Intel evolving outside of a maturing business? That's what they're really looking for from Intel and their concerns. Well, Intel's core business is really what you know, servers, desktops, notebooks, so the PC and then the servers that serve those PCs. And that business is just doing great. We're seeing a pretty strong corporate refresh cycle underway. Servers are doing great. And what's been, I think, the best part of it is our competitive position in those markets has grown and improved to a point where the pricing that we're able to get for our products has really been very, very strong. And that's what's led to the really strong margin performance over the last few quarters. So the core business is great, but we are seeing a bit of softness now in consumer. And so we're trying to understand, is this just a cyclical thing? Consumers kind of slowing off because of the macro or what? But overall, we're seeing great performance and execution in the core business. Growth is also very important to the company overall, and the reason we view it that way is it's not really growth for growth's sake, but we look at what we do well and we see how the applications of our technology can be used outside of the business that we're currently known for, which is computers, PCs. And so what we're doing is making a number of strategic investments, acquisitions, as well as some R&D investments to really allow for the portfolio to become more horizontal, so we can really grow and take advantage of these opportunities. So I think that Intel really has, we sit in a very central position in the computing industry, and as we see more and more devices trying to compute, it gives us an opportunity to grow, but we have to plug those holes, and so that's why we do acquisitions. That's why we make some important R&D investments in these new categories that really give us a chance, I think, for the first time to successfully grow Intel's presence outside of the traditional PC business. One of the things we've done, you've seen us do, is actually acquire a couple of big companies in the last month or so. We acquired McAfee, a software company that specializes in security, and another one is Infineon, which is a wireless technology company that creates really predominantly 3G modems for a number of products, the iPhone being one of them. Those are very important, but what's interesting is these kinds of things are not a strategy in and of themselves. They're tactics to really help Intel create a continuum of capability to service devices that compute. It's about Intel moving away from being a PC semiconductor company and really becoming a computing company that extends its reach beyond the traditional server and desktop notebook market into televisions, cars, handheld devices, anything that connects to the internet. Right now, our presence in those markets is very small. So the transition really is critical to get people to view us and understand us as we're more than just a vertical semiconductor company for one market. We are a broad computing company servicing a number of markets with one common denominator, and that is using and connecting to the internet and computing in some fashion. So that transition is kind of moving from more of a vertical focus to a much broader horizontal focus. And not easy to do, but something I think we have the assets and the competency to pull off.